Hello fellow Tycoons and welcome to a new update for Good Company. This update is called Develop Your Company and it's version 0.8. So let's give you a quick look at the most important changes since the last version 0.7. Until now, Good Company was very production centric, but we always wanted to go beyond that. With this new update you have more control about the direction your company will develop. You can commit to specific company goals. You can choose which markets to unlock first. You can unlock new equipment in the order that is best for your own strategy. And you can apply policies that have different effects on work zones. Equipment-wise, we've added 4 new automated machines. There's a new colorful free play map, and there's a new product type. These really adorable toy robots. Since logistics is a core system in Good Company, we are constantly improving it. One major improvement is that conveyor belts interact better with the other elements of your production. Conveyor belts can now have a curved start and end, and you can place belts that are just one tile, which allows for more space-efficient layouts. Automated logistics and the courier system are more stable and consistent now, and you can override the input and output inventories for crafters. We've put some additional work into the user interface to remove some clutter and make it more clear. The main areas are now presented in a full screen mode, and they can be accessed through the main bar at the top of the screen. Also, the blueprint designer is now more readable and easier to use. And you can customize the key bindings in a configuration file. So let's conclude with some smaller details in this update. We've implemented efficiency statistics for crafters and assembly tables. We've improved the balancing, and of course we've fixed a lot of stability issues. And in case you want to let your friends on Discord know when you're in Good Company, we've added Discord rich presence. During the past months, we've put a lot of effort into this update. But it's safe to say that this would not have been possible without the great feedback and support from our community. Thank you, you're the best. We hope you enjoy this next big step on our road through early access. This was Paul on behalf of Chasing Carrots. Take care.
Welcome back. I hope you liked our little trailer. And now we're diving into the game. I prepared a little game for you.
Okay, no pressure, Mark, but everybody wants to know how to create the absolute best company, so it's on you. Do you have any tips and tricks? Any cool stuff? Share.
I'm not sure if I'm creating the absolute best company, but I played enough to create a good company. And that's
it will at least be a good company.
Okay, yeah. And maybe you can create a company. And at some point we will have someone making the greatest company. And now this word joke is by now old. Okay, let's...
It works better in German.
Yeah. Actually, let's look in what we have right now. So compared to 0.7, you see we have directly a few more currencies on top here. We had those research points. We still know those. We still have those. I gave me a few more, so we can unlock a few things to show you more. Normally you start without them and you need to earn them completely by your own. And then we have the success points, which we need to unlock equipment, and discovery points to unlock markets. And that's the first change actually on a free play. So instead of having our fancy milestones unlocking equipment, you see there won't be there anymore. Instead we have getting success points, discovery points, and some cool policy. I will explain that later. We will have business development. This screen. This is basically a tech tree that unlocks buildables and policies. The buildables, the equipment is what you're used to. We have the basic workbench, we have the chemistry table and electronics workbench, all the stuff you know. I unlocked here already the conveyor belts. You can unlock them now from the very beginning of the game if you have the necessary money and data points, and then you can unlock the stuff in the order how you like. You see you have multiple entry points. You don't even need to unlock the tables anymore. You can directly go for table machines here if you would unlock those policies, and then our machines are coming. And the other thing you can unlock now, that was a very often requested feedback, we changed this market overview and we have this discover new market. And I wanted to show you the toy robot actually, that one down here. Before that, we had already the discovery points, what they were spent automatically. So it was random if you would get the pocket computer or the game device. Now you can decide, I want the game device, and you can still unlock the pocket computer if you like. And then I can go for the toy robot. So you just earn those points and you will be able to unlock stuff on the market. They're still given through research in our new research interface. You see, we have a lot of new interfaces. I will explain that a bit later. You can get like our discovery points there or on the market itself when you level up the market. The first thing I like to do when starting a new game is designing a product and working towards it, because the products are just the stuff that gives the most money. And I'm going to pause the game a bit because I don't want to let my company goals away, but I need a product. So let's create that.
Do you want to talk us through, Mark or Paul, actually maybe some of the changes you guys have made to the product overview? Because I hear a little bird told me that there might be some UX flow additions and tweaks.
Yeah, we improved the UI a little bit because we figured that a lot of the windows we have in the game, for example, like this, the blueprint designer and the market panel we saw earlier, they were quite large, and in the past versions you could just, they would pop up in front of you and you could move them around, and you could have multiple of those windows over each other. And then we figured it makes much more sense to have these big windows in a single full screen view, and that improves the clarity of what's going on, and it's much more structured that way. So this is like the one of the bigger UI changes, and we have like this top control bar where you can switch between the different areas of your company, which used to be scattered around across the whole UI in the past, and now we have like a central place where you can access everything. So these were the bigger changes UI wise, and of course, like the blueprint designer here, we changed that a little bit as well. So the features and drawbacks are more clear, more readable, and of course as well the market rating. So you see the stars on the right side. They are more prominent. You can read them better, and there is more data basically about what your design means for the current market phase. So, and how much money you will probably make, or the estimated profit. So these were quite important changes to us, because it was quite cluttered in the past. And game design wise, we went with more choices, more non-linear choices you can make as a player. In the past, it was like the markets got unlocked one after another, so it was like a strict linear path. And the same goes for business development. We didn't have business development, we just unlocked stuff whenever you reached a milestone. So the order in which things got unlocked was very static, very strict. And now the player has the choice to adapt to certain situations and make choices as they move along with the company.
Guys, can I ask you a question for a second?
Of course.
Viewers are asking if there are any Cosmonautica Easter eggs, or if there will be.
That's a good question. I don't know. Maybe some of our artists did sneak in something. I don't keep track of these. Sometimes people just do it without telling anyone, and then when the game gets released, things pop up. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the new robots that you guys have in this update, but I didn't see which one Mark picked. Mark, did you go for the owl or the the little sort of turtle guy.
I like the owl the most actually, so I made the owl. You can see it here, that little guy.
The owl is cool. Yeah.
Yeah, good choice. Good choice.
Can also see that in market now. And they can what we also added here, making the design process a bit easier, what I really like a lot, is a possible profit per unit. So this is what you most likely earn per unit that you sell. So when you're designing the product, you have a good overview of how much money you can make with that little guy. And also when I set the discount, I can still see how much I earn. So I know, for example, oh, now I'm making a loss if I would sell that one. So yeah, let's keep that, and we can make 6. We'll continue with that. Maybe I have purchased too many of those tables.
Yeah, and the market progression, we try to telegraph that a little bit more. So when you progress the market, or before you progress the market, we tell you what actually changes. In the past, it was like, oh, that's a mystery button there, and now the numbers flash up, and you see, okay, you get a higher base price, higher demand, and these features and drawbacks will be added when you progress the market. And in the past, it was like, I think it was even before 0.7, the market progression was automatic, and it put a lot of pressure on the players. And so the challenge was, we didn't want the challenge to be like very time critical. We wanted to people be able to, make considerate choices and have the time to think about things without getting rushed by the game.
Yeah,
absolutely. I think the many of the sort of areas in this sort of update, I think, speak to sort of clarity and sort of, there's both new features to get excited about, but there's also a lot of sort of like under the hood quality of life sort of tinkering and improvements across the board. So there's a lot to love.
I'm looking forward for Mark to show off the machines and the conveyor belts, because we put a lot of work in the past into that, and there will be more effort on our side to improve these things, because we still aren't convinced that they are perfect yet. But as time goes on, we are going to work on these features more. And logistics will always be like a point of improvement, because it's such a central feature.
Yeah, if people are playing and they have thoughts and feedback on how the conveyor belts are going, where best to hit you guys up? Do you have a preferred feedback method?
You mean how they can contact us? You mean?
Absolutely, yeah.
We prefer Discord, actually, and within Discord we can ask questions directly to them, or ask back, like, did you try this, or could you send us a save game? Because most issues are solved the best when we have an explicit look at the play situation, because there are so many things that can be interchanged and different. There are so many states to this game that we need to actually, it's crucial for us to see exactly what the players have done to fix a bug. And people are very, very forthcoming, and they are sending us logs and save games, and that this helps a ton to fix bugs and improve on current features.
Cool.
But
Mark,
email is... Sorry.
Oh, sorry, Paul, go for it.
And email is fine too. support@jasoncoates.com. We usually look at those pretty regularly. And
cool. I was going to ask actually about policies, and I see that Mark has opened up the panel. So Paul, do you want to talk us through this brand new feature for our 0.8 update? So yeah, I know the screen has gone away. Mark has hastily closed it, but do you want to fill everyone in on sort of like, what is a policy? How does it work? What does it do for the player?
Maybe.
Yeah, we have these work zones in the game. So the company is spatially divided into work zones, and every work zone is kind of like a department of the company. if you want. So, and those policies, they change sort of the rules or certain have certain effects on things within a work zone. So you said like, I see that.
I've set
screen.
now policies that I unlocked when I unlocked the workbench. It's plastic focus, so any module or item I craft that requires plastic gets a speed boost. Then I have some module output that gives also a speed boost, and the component output. And now you see I have like I make myself a little work zone. The policies are always per work zone. And when I click now on this table, you will see my my little effect bar here, and you see I have 10% boost in crafting. 2 are active, and the component output is actually inactive because I'm not fulfilling the requirement. I have no component here. And it's a mechanics that focus on specialization of work zones. For example, if I put that one in here, so product output and the module output and plastic focus, and you see I have a lot of different stuff in here. Now I'm clicking on the assembly table. You see I have the assembly bonus here, but there's no crafting bonus on it because it's not crafting, it's assembly. The same goes here for like my simple circuits. They profit from the module output, but definitely not from the plastic output because it doesn't require plastic. But here I require plastic and I get that bonus, but not the module bonus. And the policies are a thing where you're going to specialize. So you try to choose the perfect combination of policies to increase the efficiency in a zone. And you can unlock more policies if you either go through the milestones that will unlock a few one. You see that next one will increase my analyzer speed. And if we are on a business development, that are those red little icons here that are listed, and they will also unlock specific policies. For example, I could get the bigger storages, and then I'll get to that policy that increases the picking speed, so the employees can faster pick up and put down stuff, but it will decrease the walking speed. So a lot of policies have downsides to them. But
yeah, so policies are basically modifiers for certain attributes of work zones, and we try to design in a way that you have policies that have synergies and policies that kind of play against each other. So you have to strategize.
Yeah, a bit of a min-maxer's paradise, eh?
Mm.
I also saw, actually, related, I suppose, slightly, I saw Mark committed himself to a couple of company goals. We probably should touch on company goals as well, because I feel like, I know the video played sort of like at the beginning, sort of touched on what they are, but there's perhaps we can scratch a little deeper under the hood and yeah, talk about what it means to the player to commit to quarterly goals.
Yes, we wanted to give the player a little bit more sense of agency, so they kind of can set goals for themselves, and this is how kind of the success of the company is determined. Like, we have success points. We kind of like to put a metric on everything. So and the metric of course is again a currency that you can spend on other things, like in mostly in the BizDev tree, to unlock new features. So you don't have just money, you also have success points, discovery points, and research points. And those are kind of like your resources in the game. And yeah, so the goals are mostly for earning success points, but they also give you some of them give you a passive bonus on certain things. Most of them, of course, give you again additional success points so that you can spend on new unlocks. But the interesting part of goals is that they are very different. They feel like achievements, but achievements are usually session independent, and this is like these goals are more like connected to your company. And you have 3 success goals. You have to commit to them before you can actually achieve them. It's like I set for myself, this is my goal, and I have a quarter year. Well, is it a quarter? Yeah, 90 days, right? A quarter.
Yep. Yeah, a quarter.
to accomplish them. And yeah, it kind of gives you also a little bit an additional motivation to do certain things or play it a certain way.
Yeah, I love this feature because it really adds that personal touch to the game. It's very specific to you when you play. So for me, it's like a big up and definitely motivated to keep playing.
Yeah.
Is it worth touching on a couple of examples? I know people can see the things that Mark is chasing down, but so company goals obviously get unlocked over time and things. So there's a lot of different ways you can choose to sort of chase down these success points. It might be worth touching on a couple of the types that players can experience.
Yeah, sure. So what we have are two different kind of company goals. There are like general ones, like you see, craft 500 modules of tier 1 or higher, and I'm currently proceeding with that. That is Module Mania 1. There's like in total 10 steps of it, but so that increases over time, it becomes harder. And I'm getting some success points for it, like 60. And my passive effect, once that's completed and the quarter is over, I will get a company-wide analyzer speed bonus of 2%. So every analyzers I do goes 2% faster in my complete company. Then I decided to also go for this one, which is analyzing, which I want to do soon, where my company-wide research speed is actually increasing. And then I have this interesting goal to just increase my net worth, because it goes really well in hand in hand. I'm producing modules, I'm making research, and both increasing my net worth. So I thought I would go for that and maybe try to reach that, and that would reduce my equipment cost. Those are the general company goals, how we sort them, because you can just achieve them in any way, because you can increase your company net worth by selling products, by selling modules, even by researching. So there's a lot of ways to achieve those. They're not bound to a specific task. And then we have something like that one here, the game device goal. So there's a product bound. So there's to a specific product. Here I have like earn like 165,000 G with a game device in a quarter. I'm getting 100 success points for that. And those goals, those product type of goals, they give me bonus points, bonus success points, depending on like other facts that happen in the background. For example, by getting 2 more success points for every 1,000 net worth, I'm increasing my company value. Or here for the calculators, it's a very simple one, because it's the first one. Just produce 300 calculators in a quarter. And if you do that, for every 2,000 modules you're crafting, you're getting 2 more success points, which is quite cool, because that might be not the case yet, but this complete tree works mostly with success points. You see that to unlock those policies, I need 260 success points. I'm earning them with the company goals, and I have basically an infinite resource of those company points. They're going passive in the background. I can either take a slow pace, and I will just unlock it at some point if I manage to reach the first company goals, or I can like chase down all company goals. However, like the good thing on the company goals is they're in a time frame, 90 days. Like every quarter, you know, companies are based on quarterly reports. We have that's the same thing. So from my first quarter goes from January to end of March, and then the next one will do. And either I'm managing to achieve that, then I will get there's a reward, or it will reset at the end of the time period, and I will just do it again. It's like a benchmark of my company if I'm good enough to reach those goals. For the general goals, we have like 10 levels each, so that becomes higher and higher and higher, and you need, at some point you need to be really, really good to unlock those, but you always get more buffs from it. And the company on the product stuff, they have a few lower levels, but they are harder to achieve actually. But it tests you really how efficient you can be with your production, and I really like that. It's a bit challenging.
Yeah, and there's nothing bad happens if you don't achieve a goal or anything. It's no pressure. It's more like, oh, can I actually do this? Let's see. Yeah,
I think it took too long in this quarter to set up my stuff, so I need I will probably miss it in the first quarter, but when we tested it, the first goals are very achievable in the first quarter. It's possible. It depends on how fast you want to be. I'm not rushing things right now. I take my time.
That's right. Good companies take time, Mark. We understand.
Yeah. No,
You
actually,
know what
good.
good companies also need? Halloween decor.
I was going to say, yeah, there's a woeful lack of decoration going on, I have to say. So, yeah, I don't know, Paul, maybe it's just worth touching on. Yeah, one of the more sort of like, yeah, jolly updates outside of features and quality of life improvements would be, you know, it's the spoopy season. We might as well drop some Halloween goodies in. So yeah, what can players expect alongside obviously this lovely autumnal map that we're looking at as well?
Yes, of course. Our artists, they like, especially Joanna, or concept artist. She also modeled those, actually, these skeletons and the assets you can place down for this season, and also the map. So Daniel, our 3D modeler, he did a lot of work on this autumn or fall map with this lovely late year colors, which
buildings in the new map, right?
Excuse me, could you
There's
come again?
17 buildings in the new map, right?
Yes, I think so. It was 17, right?
Yeah, there are 18 buildings actually. When we
18,
made that
okay.
update, we had like 1 building unlocking from the beginning and 17 extra that you could purchase. But we changed a bit that you have 2 more buildings unlocked from the beginning, so you have more space. You don't need to spend your money on more buildings in the beginning. You can focus on crafting stuff. But of course, you can also expand. When you click on this little red for sale things, you see there's a vacant building, cost me 100,000, and I would get additional space to expand,
Yeah.
which might be actually useful. I will get now into this building here. Oh, see, actually purchasing buildings is increasing my company net worth. So yay, we did our first company goal.
Yeah.
Nice.
But regarding the decor, there are like stuff like pumpkins and what else? We have like these Victorian lanterns.
Yeah, and the paintings as well.
Yeah, the gargoyle is great. I first
Man-eating plants.
yeah. The first thing I did, like placing 2 gargoyles at the entrance of my building, and yeah, it makes it. It plays well with the warm colors. It's a nice contrast. And I'm looking forward to the winter update as well. Someday.
Yeah, spoilers, but I do see someone mentioned in the chat the word snow. I mean, like, you know, never say never, eh?
Yeah, eventually, at some point. Yeah, you can see like we added some weather effects also to this map. So we are planning to have a little bit more of those in other maps, and eventually we will add more and more maps to the repertoire of Good Company.
Cool. So actually, we've glossed over it because Mark's already sort of fairly well into the setup here by this stage. But less a new feature and more kind of like a tweak is how the sort of like the automatic logistics and the courier rules work. So I don't know whether it's worth sort of elaborating a little bit on that, Paul, at all. Like this is when players obviously have their courier palette down and are setting up companies. There's a little bit more finite control that they have access to. So I don't know whether it's worth talking about that.
Yes, absolutely. Well, in the previous version, the problem was that item rules or logistics rules were made for you, so they were made automatically, and you have a little bit, you had less control over those, and sometimes the automatic system didn't do what you really intended. And now we figured that it would be better if the player could do it themselves, set up the rules themselves. So the automatic logistics system does not do something that you didn't intend. And at the beginning we thought, oh, this is maybe too much work for the player, but you don't have that many courier palettes at the beginning, So it's quite manageable because the pallets are usually quite central entities in the game. So it naturally felt like a natural setup you would have to make in order to make your company work. So this is like this is an additional step you have to do, but you have more control over it, and it doesn't break anything automatically. I think that's a good improvement.
See Mark picking himself some new policies.
Yeah,
yeah.
I need to speed up my construction of those conveyor belt parts because I want to build conveyor belts actually. So
right.
Yeah, everyone wants to see the complicated conveyor belts.
oh yeah. For the video, you saw that we actually built like a complete building over here, and this one, and I've just filled it with like battery assembly line, and makes like, I forgot that, hundreds of batteries per month, more than I could sell. So a bit overkill, but yeah, automation, yay.
Yeah, I saw the screenshot that Mark posted, like the super compact. What was it? Cases? No, it was plastic.
It actually created conveyor belt parts, and I did that in here. We can actually,
okay.
I can
Okay,
actually
this
try
was
to recreate it.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
show us your packing skills.
So it was one of the first things you could fully automate with metal processing machine. Actually, it was working really fine. We're going with two of them. We need gears and we need rods. Then we have those automatic retrieval segments. Putting them down here. What's working now? Which oh, I need more variable parts. Give it to me. Okay. What is working now? Before that, when we wanted to build conveyor belts, we started. It was required that the start and the end was like. Straight. So we could not make curved ends and starts, and we could also had to build at least two tiles behind each other. As you see right now, it's just one tile. I can remove it again. Oh, yeah. And the cool thing is I can now put one in here, and it doesn't even matter how I rotate it, because it would just fit automatically, so I can just place it like that. So building conveyor belts is a lot quicker right now. Still, we want to improve that because a feature which did not make it is when I build something like that, I cannot tear it down in the middle. That's sadly not working yet, so I need to always manipulate the complete one. But yeah, what I want to do right now is I need those metal. I need that on here, so let's add a rule on that one. You want to have it on 5 and this one on 9, just because that's a stack size. We need a bit more metal. This conveyor parts take a lot of metal actually, and we have no merges and splits in yet. So what I like to do is using shelves for that, putting my automated storage segment in here, and the machine outputs into that storage segment, and then it will just end up in the shelf. A small change what we did to machines actually compared to the earlier version is, before that the machines had output batches, so they were set normally to 5 or 10 times what the normal table is crafting, and it took then like 20 seconds to make a complete batch, or 30 seconds or whatever. And it was not very fluently working, the machines. They always waited for like the necessary materials, and then when all materials were there, they were making the complete batch at once. In that time you could put in more materials, but for the output it didn't work. What we have right now is they have some material storage, and they will always produce like one item, or in the case of components, the rod will be always outputted in 5. Before it was 50 for the machine, now it will output 5 like the table, and you see it just keeps on working. It will just output like every 4 seconds it will output like 5 rods. So there's no break in it. And it looks also really nice on conveyor belts. If you have long conveyor belts, and just pushing to it. It feels more natural than we had before. But yeah, what we're not having right now are like mergers or splitters, anything like that. So I keep tricking a bit with our automatic storage segments. The next thing, I need like at least one more machine to have the conveyor parts be done. I will move them over here because I need.
They fit quite nicely into each other.
Yeah. Yeah, what we changed on the machines is that you can actively block now those points, set manual filling points. So an employee can also manually fill the machine. He can go here, where the mats are on the ground, and just fill the machine and take out stuff. I don't need that right now because I want to do that be automated. So I could also move it over here and just block that tile. That's working super fine in my case. Because it's really just not necessary, and I need metal for those machines, so I need another retrieval segment, and I will just make now a long conveyor belt. We'll just go. Oh, I'm missing parts again. See, that's why we need a machine doing parts that will be just faster.
Yeah.
So,
Machines making machines.
yeah. That's the first thing I keep on automating is making those conveyor parts. So, no, not the retrieval, the storage element. And let's tell that thing just take like 10 or whatsoever every time. You can just see now how that moves on here. And what I'm doing right now is now it becomes a bit tricky. Because we only have one input to our machine, I need to be careful now. Before that it didn't matter, because this one they just need metal and the ratio doesn't matter so much. Oh, I'm out of conveyor belt parts again, I need to fast forward a bit. My workers are too slow. So, going over here. And we can now see I need 10 rods, 20 gears, and 20 plastics. That's the maximum I can put in here. I should not go over that. And I'm going now on this retrieval segment, and I'm putting the rods, the gears, and the plastic parts on, as a plastic on it. Oh, I require plastic. Oh, see, I did already a mistake. Never mind me. I'm a programmer here. I'm not making mistakes.
So it's all part of the demonstration. You've got to like pretend to make a mistake so that you can then show people how to fix it.
Yes.
And this
Yeah.
is how you don't do it.
Yeah.
Okay, but going back to that. So 10, 20, 20, and I can just set it here. If I would put a wrong ratio in here, the machine will block sooner or later because I have just one input and it just has a certain storage space. I need to be careful about that one. And I also want the setting on this machine. Gears and plastic. It's not that compact like on a screenshot I posted because I had, I believe, one machine more in here. But it only works because we have certain the changes on the conveyor belt settings. As you see, I require here the one tile conveyor belt. Here I need the curved end, and also here I need the curved end. It wouldn't work otherwise. If I would still play after the old rules, because then I would require this automatic retrieval thing to be over here, and then I would need to build the belt like 5 tiles long just to get it into the machine. That was a bit annoying. And yeah, we still try to improve on that one. Then we also need to output that. See, I can now build like that, I can keep it. And when I place the storage segment, whoop, we are over. And I can also place with the storage segment on other conveyor belts, so I can just build it like that. Okay, that should be fine. Now we're doing a bit fast forwarding, so my mistake gets cleaned up. Good that we have enough money, otherwise now I have full inventory. Okay, now we can see the machine working. I really like the animations. Every machine has an animation.
Yeah, and that's really nice. And there's something really satisfying about watching an automated system work.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a really cute joke in chat for you from Pizzagan. Why is a robot mechanic never lonely? Because he's always making new friends.
I like that one.
Classic.
But yeah, that's one of the things I like to do is actually making those compact things in like single buildings. I don't know, that somehow satisfies me so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have like this box that does things, right? That's pretty cool.
I even can apply policies to those machines. And because it's all components, let's use component stuff, and it's all metal, and also I'm using plastic. And instead of 0.3 days, I need 0.27 days. And if you don't know it, a full day is 20 seconds. So that takes like 6 seconds normally. What else do we want to show off? We actually would have new machines I want to show, but I believe I'm missing resources for it. So never mind me, I will
You
go
just
in-
showed us them in the BizDev tray, I think.
Yeah, I will just add some
We'll
currency.
just do it the developer way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Peek
normally
behind
like
the curtain.
I normally like to play that normally because I need to play that a lot of normally because I need to do the balancing. But for the sake of just showing off the things we are adding, let me do it the quick and dirty way. PS, that's actually not working in the release build. I'm sorry.
Yeah, only the developers got the cheat.
Yeah.
But eventually we will have to release it with the console for modding. So
Yeah.
Whenever we implement more modding features, I think the console will be one of the main features you will use as a modder to try out new things and try or start scripts and try out changes you've made yourself.
So, let me introduce you some new machines and like a change. We have our good old pick and place machine. That was our first machine we had. In the beginning, we could make circuit boards, simple circuits, and logic circuits, and programmable circuits, but I did not unlock them. So, yeah, you're not seeing them here. They can now do a bit more electronic parts, like the data storage, audio devices, and also displays. Then we added 4 new machines. We have a plastic molding machine, which is specialized in plastic parts. You see the plastic components, plastic cases. You can make them actually quite quick, so you can make simple cases in 0.1 day. That's like super fast. And the good thing is, I told you, machines can be operated by Logistic employees, so I can just add one and add it like this, set it up, getting myself a Logistic employee, he will just fill up the machine and then take it out. And it's working better now because the machine keeps on producing and the employee can decide when to take out stuff, put it into the courier pallet. Oh, and I just finished the Model Mania 1 launch thanks to the machines. It was quite quick, even if I would not fast forward. Okay, then we have the welding and milling machine, which is like, we have already the metal processing machine, which is also a bit welding, but it's focused on metal stuff. And the welding milling machine is like a more advanced one, making modules, making the components a bit faster and also a bit wooden things. Then we have our battery machine. That's actually my favorite because that is the one I used to make a really compact thing. You can make basic batteries in here up to tier 8 or 9, I believe. It goes quite quick, and I really like how it's just long and you can just feed the conveyor belt in it and comes out to the other side, so it's like a straight setup.
Yeah. There will be also some more improvements with the coming patches for this version, because we found out that there are also still a few tiny issues we have when having automated logistics and employee-based logistics. but those issues will be fixed in the coming patches, as I mentioned.
Yeah, and the
And,
last machine we have here is a chemical processing machine. It's a bit when you have not unlocked so much on it because it's a more advanced machine where when you want to make modules or things that require like chemical processing, like coating it with something. The reason for the new machines and the changes were actually we wanted to enable that almost everything can also be made with machines, and that's now possible. So besides assembling, almost every basic module can be made with machines. Unless you are at some high tier machines, then you still need modules, then you need still tables. But it will open the possibility to have factories just using machines besides from the assembly. Do we ever plan to have assembly machines?
yeah, we've talked about it.
That's a philosophical question right there. Do we ever plan to have assembly machines?
I think we have actually, I know that we have assets for bigger assembly tables for bigger products, but assembly machines would make sense now. They used to not make sense, a lot of sense, because products were structured in a different way. But with the current structure, it would be very possible to have automated assembly tables. I don't know if we haven't planned it yet, but it's absolutely in the realm of possibility, and it would make sense because why not? Why not automate assembly of products? But what we still have on the roadmap is the employee point. So we wanted to have like a employee-centric update where your employees have skills, etc. And this is like more like a stark contrast to the fully automated factory. That as soon as you don't have that many employees in your company anymore, you don't get the benefits of this highly versatile workforce. And we wanted to balance that a little bit against the machines, of course, because it would be pretty boring if you could of course make an all machines company, but it would be boring if that would be the only way to be effective. Right.
Yeah. Guess you got to ask yourself: is an all machine company a good company?
Yeah.
These are the questions. These are the questions that keep me up at night, at least.
Yes. Me too.
A suggestion for you: can workers ride the belts?
Oh, that's interesting. Could workers ride the belts?
It would be actually fun. But no, it's not possible. I like the idea from Factory and Satisfactory where you make yourself pathways with conveyor belts and you're just walking on the conveyor belts to walk faster. But no, that's not possible.
Yeah, our conveyor belts are a little bit restrictive because they block the path. You can't pick up in the middle. You can just interact with the start and the end of the conveyor belt. It was like a deliberate design decision because we didn't want to be copy or rip off other conveyor belt systems. We wanted to come up with something of our own, and that has other benefits for our systems. And yes, I think it's more interesting that because you have to plan ahead and you have a little bit more overview over what's happening. When somebody could take stuff out in the middle, that's also not what happens in the real world when you see assembly lines. Nobody like, oh, I just grabbed this part, I just need it now, right now.
Are you saying people don't surf on conveyor belts in the real world, Paul? Is that what you're breaking our hearts here?
No, they
actually they do, but they're not supposed to.
Yeah, I'm on a YouTube mission now. I'm just going to find a bunch of videos of people surfing conveyor belts and send them to people to prove
Actually, I worked on an assembly line on our local car manufacturer, and they have conveyor belts where the workers actually stand on, so they can work on the cars. So conveyor belt riding is like a pretty common thing. But yeah, in our case, in Good Company, currently it doesn't make much sense. Maybe in the far future, let's see. Maybe there is a mod that allows you to do this.
I was going to say, yeah, it feels like once the modding tools are in, I guess all bets are off at that stage. So
Yeah.
cool. Is there anything like that we have not yet covered that's big in the 0.8 update? I know a lot of it's been shown in passing as Mark's been playing, but I wondered if is there any additional areas that we wanted to discuss today?
Yeah, I want to show you something. There's like at least one more thing I need to show off. So what I want to do right now is expanding that space here, because I want to do some research right now. So let's place analysis table, and let's place research table. Oh no, that's not bad. Good. People will not be able to access the building. So yeah. Oh, see, now we have the research tree. So we restructured a bit. In the past, we had like this big window where you had to scroll horizontal and vertically, and we had no overview in it, and as well as many users. So what we changed is we have now categories, which make sense, hopefully, for all the players. So we have small cases, robot chassis, power supplies, electronics. So you will find quite quickly what you're looking for. We still have the tiers, but what we won't have anymore is that you're limited to tiers. So before that, if you wanted to research any module that's tier 4, you had to have a tier 3 module. But we figured out that doesn't make much sense. We still kept like you need a plastic case before adding the reinforced case. But yeah, that's it. That's the only limitation you have, because you need a plastic case to build a reinforced case. It's like there's something coming behind. So that makes sense. And the other thing we added, you see that one, this button here, that's important. We have a queue now. So I can either click on that arrow and it will start be put in the front of the queue, and or I can just queue it. So like I want a window case, I click on it and you see it puts the requirement in it and then the windowed case. Or I'll say I need now the simple AM radio link, and I click on start. I would just push it into the front of it. I believe that is something a lot of users wanted to have, because they probably feel like me. I keep on forgetting adding researchers to my for my research workers, and then they were just idling around. And I'm definitely not paying workers to just idle around. I wouldn't do that in real life, right?
No, this is one of my favorite quality of life updates, and there's a lot in this 0.8 update. But queuing research is it's pretty awesome. So.
Yeah, I always forgot to set a new research thing as well. Always, like all the time, all the money was gone on research, and nobody was achieving anything. Yeah, so I'm really thankful for this feature too.
We can also touch like a few things. I didn't know if every one of you followed us. We were not updating 0.8, but we also had like a lot of updates since we released 0.7, and there were also a lot of quality of life features in it that you might have missed. So maybe I can try to remember and walk you through a bit. So what's new? So the one thing we added was like this. We worked a lot on the logistic. We tried to improve it. Some things were not possible through the 0.7 update, but one thing we did was having those perfect storages, or like overriding storages. We have the automatic system, and that choosing like storages like it wants, and it normally tries to have the same storage. You see my assembly table, and I decided I want to use 2 different storages, and I want to tell him where to take materials from and where to put it, so I can just turn it on and put my, say, that's your input, that's your output, and bam, like that he has more space for the products he's doing. Or in like certain cases, For example, I'm placing another crafting bench over here, right? No. Actually, like that one here. Okay, and the shelf is clearly closer, but now I'm changing it to conveyor parts, and I don't want him to use that shelf because I have one over here. Why not using that? So I turn it on, tell him, please use that one. And the automatic logistic knows, okay, you want to use that one, I'm fine with that. I'm routing the employee now over that. You don't need to take care about that. It would still work automatically, but it will be done. Speaking of that, we also improved the automatic logistic rules a lot. So before that, the automatic logistic were quite dumb. They tried to use just the next best shelf. And right now, what it wants to do is it prefers shelves over courier pallets, because of course if you're building a shelf, you're expecting people using it, right? Because the courier pallets are basically endpoints and start points. You can still add those rules. That's also a thing we added. We can add rules manually. But yeah, if you, for example, have another shelf over here, but he sees, oh, there's already conveyor belt parts on that one. Even if that shelf is closer to that workbench, I would still keep with that shelf to keep a better overview of that. So we try to improve that a lot. And if you have any feedback, if you find anything about the logistics, because it's a really hard topic, not for you, but also for us, because it's really deep. We don't want to make a shallow system where you have no influence at all, that completely works alone, or make it too complicated. Give us feedback, that's very important for us. Because you see, we improved a lot. We added rules on the courier palette. We improved the courier palette a few times since the 0.7 update. Also the configuration for the courier system itself. We improved how conveyor belts work with the complete system. As you see, this was barely possible what I've done here. I just set up the belts and the employees working completely it's just with automatic logistic. Before that, if you wanted to do that, you had to use a manual mode. And what we would like to have is that you, as a player, are not required to use the manual mode anymore. We will still keep it for the people who like it, who want to be micromanaging everything, but it shouldn't be the necessary thing to do.
Yeah, it's a historic thing, and we are hesitant to get rid of it because of people who did enjoy it. Most didn't, because it was a chore and very, very complicated and a lot of very time consuming. But some like this little bit extra control over overall logistics.
Yeah.
So
Another
I think
thing.
Yeah. Go on, Mark. Sorry.
Yeah, I have like another thing. When you played the last time with 0.7.0, we also improved the work zone drawing, for example. So we have now two modes to draw work zones. We have one adding a new one and one extending. So if I draw a new one, I can just draw into the middle of work zones and just overwrite that. That wasn't possible before. I can also demonstrate it here. This is also new. You can now just overwrite equipment into new zones, making the managing of zones way easier, because that now just happening. Before that we had to complicate, it was a bit complicated to get that around, so that's also like a new thing. The company statistic also updated. You have now more exact numbers on what's happening. It also considering the buffs right now. You see, I'm not very efficient in most of my parts right now. I should probably work that out. But
yeah, so the game has come a really long way since early access launch in March, which is, it's great. Do you guys have any sort of like big things you're really excited for in the roadmap that are coming up?
Well, I'm looking forward to the, as I said, to the employee update. This is going to be a big one. We wanted to also rework the character look system. The character look system is basically what clothes the characters are wearing, and what body types they have and what colors. And we wanted to improve that, so because we have a lot of new clothes that we haven't integrated into the game yet, it's not in there. The assets are there, but they're not in the game because we need to figure out some sombrero I see in the chat. We used to have a giant sombrero and it clipped in all the walls in the game. That's why we sort of got rid of it. And some people are still a little sad. But yeah, we wanted to have like department specific clothing, so you can like have more distinguish. You have more ways to distinguish employees from different tasks, because right now they're just a colorful bunch, which is also lovely. But it would be nice to have the option to give them like working clothes that match their activity, so you can actually read better what's going on in your company when you have a big company where a lot of stuff is going on.
Yeah, when you have a sea of people and you can easily distinguish between departments. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
We're actually running a bit over, so I'm just gonna draw the giveaway winner.
Yes.
Ho ho.
Can someone drum roll?
Did this come through?
Yeah.
Yes.
It certainly did on my end. So.
M Chaser, congratulations.
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 I will whisper you and send you.
Would the real M Chasers please stand up?
Yeah, is M Chaser still here?
Congrats, yes.
I
Cool.
think you can just DM him. It should be still possible.
Yeah.
The thing I'm actually most forward to is still multiplayer. I would still like to play
We forgot about
Good Company
this.
multiplayer. So a quick outlook I can maybe give to it is we are working on the networking stuff right now in the background while we're doing other updates. So it's happening in parallel. It will still take some time because obviously the game is not yet made for having multiple players running around. Communication is a bit hard because look, I can say something. That it pops up over here. So communication is a bit complicated, and also working together. We want to work on that one, but it's already in the making. That's a big thing because I believe a lot of people actually want to play with their friends. Like me, I want to play with the people in the office so I can teach them how to do logistics properly.
Yeah. You need to impart your skills, Mark. Yeah, no, it's going to be very exciting. I think, everyone should watch this space. 2021 is going to be a pretty big year for Good Company.
Absolutely, yeah.
Maybe one day, as Mark hinted at, we will take this Good Company and make it even, I guess, even greater, I guess is the word.
Best company.
Best Company.
Yeah.
The sequel.
Company. And keep sharing your screens. We love to see them.
Yeah, is it worth quickly touching on best ways to get in contact moving forward? I know Sophie is worth quickly rattling through a couple of best ways that we want to, either share via Twitter or Discord. You can reach out to either the Irregular Corporation or Chasing Carrots. Love to see people's companies.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, tweet at us, join our Discord. Do we have
best? I was going to say best use of skeleton. I'd like to see. I'd like to see.
Yeah.
I would really like to see people using the decoration a bit more, especially with the Halloween decoration. They're currently free to place in the game. They have no pricing because they have no use besides looking cool for Halloween. If you want to share with us, so we have actually quite active community on Discord and Reddit. We will have that links in the ending screen. Maybe someone can also post that in the chat. That's where you can meet us interactively. So we're answering there if you share with us if you have issues. But we also have channels to share your creations there. We would be happy to see that, because if you share your company, we can learn how you play and maybe what you're missing. Then we are also, of course, on Twitter. We are on Facebook. We are in the Steam forum. So yeah, would be cool to see you there and sharing your creations or your what you think about Good Company.
thousands of skeleton photographs. This is what we want.
Yeah, I think the skeletons makes really good supervisors.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, the,
Yeah, because people are actually going to want skeleton supervisors now.
yeah, Mark, feature creep.
yeah, I want at some point when next year Halloween, I hope the game is so far that we can actually have skeleton or ghoul skins. You called it in on your site Ghoul Company. So I figured the Emperor should have ghoul outfits, but we couldn't do that because we are missing the stuff right now to add easily more different clothing for employees.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned with the character look, but we will get there.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just a matter of time. Yeah, cool.
it is but a year away. Cool, no, that's awesome. Yeah, exciting times. I also feel like, if you guys can't get the sombrero to come back as a player option, then maybe that sombrero should be stuck on the head of a cheeky skeleton.
Maybe if we added bigger collider, so the character only fits into 3x3 tiles.
You should keep the sombrero in the game, but just have a massive disclaimer saying use at your own risk, and results may vary.
Yes.
I like the top hat. Top hat is the best hat.
Top
It looks like I have success.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so that's it for today's stream. We had a really good time, and we really want to thank everyone who tuned in and took part in the giveaway and spoke to us in the chat. Remember to wishlist and buy the game if it looks like your kind of thing, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, see you next time.
Cheers,
Thanks for
everybody.
watching.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.